What's up, horror fam? You know what time it is. Let's get into this. All right, what's up, everybody?
Hello, hello.
JT and Ryan back in the house.
We're here.
We're here.
Hello, everybody. Sorry, I need to
here.
get some water in my mouth. My
We,
throat's dry.
We actually ain't seen each other in a couple of weeks. We kind of miss each other.
Yeah, no more. We haven't played Tiddlywinks in about
I had
2
to play
weeks.
with myself. I had nobody to play with.
Bullshit, isn't it?
It is bullshit. But hey,
you been
only
doing?
I know how to take care of me.
Oh, you do it better. Everyone does it better themselves.
So I can get the Kleenexes,
I don't
light
need
a
your
candle,
help. I could do it myself.
try and shoot it out.
Get tissues to wipe the tears away after you're done.
Yeah, because you've disappointed yourself. Well, you know, that's what happens
You know, it's
when you got an enormous ego.
What you been doing for 2 weeks?
Oh, nothing, just working. I can't get
feel
my
ya.
shit squared. I can't quit touching stuff. Don't touch me.
Story of his life.
Don't touch me.
Yeah,
But no, things have been cool, man. Work is work. Off for 3 days this weekend.
There you go.
Thank you, Labor Day.
The non-Labor Day.
Yeah.
Non-Labor Day.
Yeah, which I'm gonna get up in the morning and cut my grass. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna be working on some vehicles probably.
no day off
Just
for me.
checking some stuff.
No day
Gotta
off
change
for
out
me.
the cabin air filters on the Jeep.
The crab in air.
Tell you what, dude, that's just ridiculous. My
Yeah.
Jeep doesn't even have one. First of all, that year didn't come out with one, but Krista's did. So I gotta fix that.
Interesting.
Interesting little note. But anyways,
Anyway,
been watching some cool stuff.
I have. I've watched 2 really good movies, and both of them are new.
Ooh,
So,
interesting.
Hopefully, I don't know if you've seen either one of these, but
Well, I don't know either because I don't know what they are.
okay. So I sat down. I've been hearing a lot of flack over it. I sat down and I watched the new Boogeyman the other night.
So did I.
What'd you think of it?
It was all right.
I thought it was pretty damn good.
It was all right. I thought it was a movie that I could show my kids.
Absolutely.
Which is cool.
Absolutely.
It kind of gave me a little bit of like when I say it was all right, I mean I'm not trying to talk down on it. It just I thought it was gonna be a little bit more gory.
Yeah. So I didn't really think too much about the gore, but it was the creep factor for me. I kind of went in thinking it was going to be like the one that came out, and I don't even remember when it came out.
Oh yeah,
03 or something like that. And it wasn't. I mean, it was similar kind of theme, but completely different. This one was actually all Stephen King. This movie was based off of one of his short stories, and he was actually one of the producers on this film. So
yeah, I enjoyed the atmosphere of it. Really good. I liked how they would fade in the face out of the darkness and stuff a lot. It was
reminiscent of Halloween.
Yeah, it was really cool, man. It was a good movie.
I love the look of the creature in that.
Yeah,
I thought they did a really good job, and we all know Javier Baudet or whatever. He's the one that played the creature in that, and he's done a lot of, like, he was the creature in the Mama movie.
Javier Bardem.
It's like Baudet or
Baudet
or something like that. But anyway, very cool movie. I like the story. The family dynamic there, with the father, and they've lost their mother, and it's the father and these 2 young girls.
I liked how it mimicked the people's voices and shit.
Yeah.
It was really cool. Like I said, guys, when I say it was good, I don't mean like, I could tolerate it. It was actually a really good movie. I could show my kids and watch it with them. Which is good. I like finding those type of movies.
Yeah.
Kind of gave me, to a point, hear me out here. It kind of gave me scary stories told in the dark vibes.
Yeah, I can see that.
So
I can see
and
that.
I like that. I like that. Don't get me wrong. You know, that's like I've been trying to find stuff I can watch with my kids because they're constantly wanting to watch scary stuff with me.
Right.
So this is a good movie for you guys if you want to watch something with your kids that they can watch. And it is scary for them, probably maybe a little bit scary, depending on how old your kids are and how much they've been influenced or how much they've seen certain movies or whatever. But
there was something else I watched the other day that I thought would be
like good for
be decent for the kids
to watch. I watched I got halfway through Cobweb. And I don't know if you've seen that one.
Yes, I was going to talk about it too.
Oh,
because
cool.
I thought I mentioned it to you last week that I had seen it.
You did, yeah.
I really enjoyed that movie. I didn't care for the end of it though.
Right.
It was which you haven't seen the end, so we won't talk about it. But I thought that was really cool the way they did that. Did you get to the bedroom scene where the mom comes through the door?
No, not yet.
Oh, dude, very creepy.
The preview.
Yeah, it's in the preview, and that whole scene is just like fucking it. It kind of throws you back. You're like, God damn.
I tell you what I did watch, and
please tell me.
Huh?
Please tell me.
So what I did watch, and I thought was gonna be meh, and actually was kind of cool because it's what it's doing is introducing. It's putting it basically. It's like a pilot is what it is. It's a pilot movie. Dylan's New Nightmare.
Dylan's New Nightmare.
Yes.
Dude, I ain't even heard of that.
It's a 30-minute movie or like a 45-minute movie on
Dylan's.
You watch it on YouTube.
New Nightmare.
It's on YouTube. And it literally has God dang it. Why can I never remember his name?
Because it's that one dude. I might have to check that out. I haven't even heard of that.
So it just dropped on YouTube the other day.
Okay.
And it's a nightmare. It's so you remember New Nightmare?
Yeah.
So Kelly Lane Camp or whatever.
Yeah.
Or Kelly, right? Yeah. Or is it Jennifer? No, Kelly.
Heather.
Look at me. Too many fucking names.
I had to think of that for a minute.
Heather Langenkamp.
Yeah.
So she plays herself in that movie, you know. Well, this movie is about the son. And he grows up, and guess who's playing him? Same kid.
Really?
It's the kid who played Gage in freaking Pet Cemetery and all that.
Oh shit.
He plays and kills it. He's fucking jacked too.
Wow, that's cool.
But like, anyways, like he's in it, and he's the same kid, you know. And he plays his self or whatever from the New Nightmare, and it's just it's like a pilot movie. It's like a screener, you know, something that you can see to be like, oh, and you can tell that they ended it intentionally to make it to where
to make another one.
And hopefully enough people watch this to where it gains traction and they get more fucking.
Hell yeah, dude! I'll have to check that out.
So if you haven't watched that, you guys, go watch that and leave a comment, like it. That way we can get these movies made. Yeah. And I will tell you right off the bat, I didn't care for which we're gonna have this problem every fucking time, so it doesn't matter. But I didn't care for for the Krueger. His makeup was a little fucking weird, and his and
I'm sure his voice was fucking weird too.
Yes, that's the whole thing, man. It's hard to get past that.
Yeah.
And even some kind of, it's like the mannerisms of the face, like the things. There's just little things that like I will say this. So the remake, right? With our guy.
Yeah,
gosh dang it.
Haley.
You know. Yeah, Haley. Something Haley.
God, I can't remember that guy's name.
Or Haley something. But anyways, I actually think that he killed it on the mannerism, how you say it, like
right.
When the way Krueger in the movies would like he'd like go
yeah, like enunciated.
How he enunciated things, how his face looked,
right.
How he'd nod his head a little bit, like you know, he had that
yeah.
down. He just wasn't Krueger.
Right.
This guy, he did his best. He didn't do horrible. It wasn't like super shitty. I just, you know,
Jackie.
Yeah,
Jackie Haley.
Jackie Haley. There it is. Yeah. But you know, for all intents and purposes, I thought it was really cool. And of course, I wish I could. I really need to fucking learn to remember these names. I'm horrible with names, guys. But the kid who played
Cage from Pet Sematary.
Because he played in New Nightmare or whatever. I believe didn't he play the son?
If I remember correctly, I don't remember.
But he fucking killed it. Did a great job. Great job. Cool. Really sold it. Really like yeah, I liked it. So I was like, sweet. That's fucking. I literally heard about it. I seen a thing. It said it ran across Facebook. Said, hey, Dylan's New Nightmare's out. I'm like, oh, what's that? Went on fucking YouTube because that's where it's at. Checked it out. I was like, oh, cool. So only like fucking 35 minutes or some shit or 40 minutes. So like, fuck it, I'm gonna watch it. It's not pretty good.
Dude, while we're on the subject, I got to bring this up. So, do you remember the John Cusack movie Better Off Dead?
Yes.
Okay, where his girlfriend broke up with him and he's trying to kill himself all throughout the movie. Comedy, So I'm scrolling through the channels and I haven't watched that movie in forever. And I probably hadn't seen it since I was a teenager,
Right.
And I used to love that movie. And I was scrolling through the channels and it was on. I was like, oh, hey, I'm going to sit and watch this for a few minutes. All of a sudden, they showed the girl that broke up with him. And my mind was fucking blown. It was Tina from Nightmare on Elm Street. I was like, what the fuck?
I'm trying to remember that movie. Now I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
Yeah, it's her. It's her, because as soon as I saw her, I was like, wait a minute. What the fuck? Totally blew my mind. But anyway, just one of those silly things.
It's funny when
sometimes that happens.
You see that stuff, and like you catch people in these movies that it's weird to me that some of these people, they do a really good job, like in some of these horror movies, but then they don't cast them again.
Right.
And you're like, because they get that horror fucking movie, whatever. Like
Linda Blair is a prime example. She pigeonholed into horror movies.
Right. So it's a shame because like a lot of these people fucking are great actors or actresses, whatever you want to say. But
so another big movie I watched this week. In fact, I just watched this Friday night. And that is The Last Voyage of the Demeter.
I haven't watched it. I knew you were going to bring it up. And I've heard mixed reviews.
Dude, I absolutely fucking love that movie. It was killer. It is, you got to go into that movie. It is more like watching a pirate movie almost. But Dracula's loose on the ship, but you really got to go into that movie, like you're watching an old like pirate movie like Black Sails or something.
Gotcha.
Or a show like Black Sails or something like that. But dude, I thought it was damn good.
Okay. Yeah,
everybody in it, all the people in it played very good roles, and it did a really good job. See, what's funny is like all of the Dracula movies, sometimes they'll bring that up, but they don't really tell you the whole story. If you read the actual book, Bram Stoker's actual book, Dracula, in there's a section called the Captain's Log, and it's basically what they based this movie off of.
Gotcha.
Is what Bram Stoker wrote as the Captain's Log. And yeah, I watched it. I was pretty impressed with it. I liked it. Was it the best thing I've ever seen? No, but it was good. It was damn good.
That's like
and that led me into, as soon as I got done with that, I couldn't stop. Then I was on a Dracula kick. So then the next thing I watched was, and don't ask me why, but I just did. I watched the 1979 version of Dracula with Frank Langella in it, and it's very 70s. But it's actually a really good movie.
Yeah.
But in that, it's really funny because at the end of The Last Voyage of the Demeter, was because we all know the ship wrecks, and that's how Dracula gets to England. Well, then the 1979 Dracula starts out on the ship.
That's cool.
You know, yeah. So I was like, that's why I wanted to watch it, because I was like, I remember that started out on the ship, but I hadn't seen it in a long time.
Hell yeah.
And so it was like a continuation of that same movie. So
Yeah, it's funny because my boys, they stayed with their grandma last night, but they went and watched that new Blue Beetle.
Oh, sweet.
They said it was fucking awesome. They loved
Yeah,
it.
it looked,
So
the preview looks really good.
they said
for
they
it.
loved it, but it's funny because my son, of course, not to be, you know, always trying to impress me. He's like, yeah, Dad. Like when we got done watching that, he's like, what he said? He said, Meemaw had to go to the bathroom, so when she went in the bathroom, I snuck into the nun and finished watching it. I'm like, no, you didn't. He like, it was playing.
It's not even out yet.
Yeah, I'm like, no, you didn't.
I was gonna say it comes out Thursday, and I'm probably gonna go see it.
He had a Chris Farley moment. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
But you could imagine.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
But yeah, he's
In
always,
fact, I got to watch the first one this week because I'm gonna go see the new one this weekend.
which looks better than the first one.
I like the first one.
I like the first one. Don't get me wrong. The atmosphere in the first one's amazing. I just, you know, what was the movie? Okay, that's like a lot of people talk about, like the Red Door.
Mm-hmm.
Was it the best in the series? By far, no.
No.
But what it did was it brought.
But the story was kick ass. The way
Yes,
they tied the whole series together.
Yeah, and that's what the whole point of it. It was the ending closure thing. It tied everything together and put a nice little bow on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is what it is. I did
Somebody
watch.
put a bow on me.
Yeah, right around the I mean, anyways, I did watch. It's I don't know if you consider it horror. I call it more action, but I watched the Meg 2.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen those.
I've seen the first one. I haven't watched the
So watch
second
part
one
2.
yet.
It's cool, interesting. You know,
I like
lot of
Jason
action.
Statham.
Oh
so
yeah, I fucking like it. I love him as an actor, dude.
he's one of my favorite action stars.
Yeah, he's
man.
badass. But it was good and very entertaining. Worth watching.
Yeah.
You know, fun. What's one of those fun movies? You know, crazy shit happens. It's funny to me because a lot of people are like, oh, that would never. It was like, it's a movie, bro.
Right.
I do that all the time with myself.
I know. My wife does that too. She'll be like, really? Come on. I'm like, honey, it's a movie. It's entertainment.
Yeah. I have to tell myself that, like, with movies, especially with my favorite fucking genre, you know, I have to, because, you know, we've talked about this before. Like, I'm like a survivalist type person. Like I see myself, I'm like, why the fuck would you do that?
Yeah. Dude, we just watched about an hour ago. We just watched that Pete Davidson movie, Bodies.
I haven't. I've seen the preview or whatever.
It was okay. It was okay. It wasn't bad. It was okay, but the end of it's pretty funny. But
I'll probably never watch it. So,
well, we're not gonna talk about it on here.
Yeah,
I'm not a big Pete Davidson fan anyway. But,
right.
You know, whatever.
But
each his
man,
own.
I tell you what though. So I have been, like I said, I'm wanting to watch things, but I'm also trying to find things I can watch with my kids. That way I can.
I wish I could remember what it was I watched.
So
it was scary, but it wasn't
too
something
bad.
You know.
I looked up. I was watching. Are You Scared of the Dark? Or Don't Be Afraid of the Dark.
Okay.
I think it's Are You Scared of the Dark? Well, maybe a TV show, but it has like 3 seasons. And you know what? I really like how they're making these. Like, I kind of wish that they would redo some Goosebumps stuff, because the way that they're doing these Are You Afraid of the Dark things, dude, the series is actually really cool. It's darker, but it's not so bad to where, like, it's not like anything you can't a kid can't watch, but it's a lot scarier, a lot darker. You know what I mean? Like the one I just watched, one of them I just finished. It was season 2, and it was basically talking about like the boogeyman or Shadow Man.
Okay.
Dude, it's fucking really good. Like the way they did the creep. It's you know, I was impressed. I'm like, sweet. So now I can watch this with the kids and freaking, you know, I like how they're going a little darker with things. You know what I mean? What the hell is that Spirit Halloween?
Well, if it's anything like the stores, it's gonna suck.
Oh, we need to get some fucking things on our hater alert. We need to get something on our fucking a button that says hater alert, hater alert.
I have one on there that's like a wah, but
yeah, wah wah wah.
But I don't remember which button it is, so I don't want to hit the wrong one. I was trying to remember what the hell that movie was I watched the other night that I was like, yeah, this would be good for Ryan and the kids.
Oh,
I don't remember what it was.
I'm always looking for stuff like that. If you guys have any suggestions from and a lot of the older stuff, like I said, I've watched with my boys.
I mean, Boogeyman wouldn't be that bad for
right,
them.
100%. Boogeyman wouldn't be. I didn't finish Cobwebs yet, so I don't know.
Man, I like that movie.
Right. No, it's
all the way till the end.
Somebody was saying,
then I still like it.
Somebody was saying, and it kind of makes sense now after I heard him say it, that it was giving them Coraline vibes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I can see that.
But it's kind of weird. So I don't know, man. I did watch something horrifying to me last night. And that was my wife made me watch the new fucking Little Mermaid.
Oh God.
Which wasn't horrible.
Oh God.
Wasn't horrible, you know. She loves that shit, so she thought it was amazing.
Hey, there was your Meg too.
That was a good movie. It's, you know, very entertaining,
check it out.
very action packed.
I like the first one.
Yeah, you'll like this one. You'll like this.
Different.
You'll like this one for sure.
There is some cool new stuff coming out that let's just run through this list real quick.
Oh yeah,
and talk about them.
I want to talk about those.
So I saw that there's a Trick or Treat 2 coming out.
Man,
if it's half as good as the first one, it's going to be a phenomenal movie.
I cannot fucking wait.
They announced Scary Stories 2.
Gonna love that.
Same deal.
I like that. That movie was exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, yeah. Drag Me to Hell 2. Wonder what they're going to do with that.
That's a highly underrated movie, in my opinion.
For you guys that are into the whole Fear Street series, we're getting another Fear Street movie, Fear Street 4. That's really all they've told us at this point. And then we've got a couple remakes going. Well, one of these isn't a remake. It's called The First Omen. And it's going to be like a precursor to the original Omen.
Okay.
Like a prequel. And then we've got some remakes going on. They're doing a remake of The Howling. Please don't fuck that up because that's a great movie. I Know What You Did Last Summer.
I like the first one.
I didn't care for that movie. It was at that time in my life where it's not a bad movie. I think I've only watched it once and have just okay, whatever. It is what it is. I am looking forward to Universal's doing another Wolfman movie. I kind of like. I go against the grain here. I like the Benicio del Toro Wolfman. I thought it was really good, but atmosphere.
Right.
I mean, that movie was closer to the original, I think, than any of them have been. A lot of people hate that movie though. And then they're doing 28 Months Later.
Hell yeah, about time.
So I'm surprised they haven't done that. I wonder if it's been 28 months since the first.
Oh, it's been way longer than that.
Yeah, I was going to say, surely it's been
longer. It's probably been
28 months. Hell, that's only 2 years and 4 months. It's
probably been 10 years since.
Yeah. But yeah, just some that I ran across. The
Trick or Treat 2, hopefully they fucking kill that because that's going to be awesome.
Dude, the first one's going to be impossible to top.
Great movie.
It is.
You know, it's just one of those things where at least they're not. Hopefully they stick with that. They see how good. Honestly, like that movie kind of turned into a cult classic. You know what I mean? Which is cool. I think it's
not without its hate though.
Well,
there's some people out there that don't like
people
it.
Hate everything.
Sorry, Jay.
You know what I mean? Yeah, easy on the guys here.
Yeah, I just fucking elbowed him.
Jason,
right in the fucking. Good thing he's got that hockey mask on.
You bastard. But no, you know, everybody's gonna hate on stuff. It's we hate on things. Everyone has their opinions. They're like assholes. Everybody's got them.
Yeah.
But you know,
I don't know. We don't really hate on that much.
It's not hate on. We just give our opinion, and it is what it is. I mean, we hate on fucking Halloween too a lot. Rob Zombies.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, Greg Bazzelli and I had words about that the other day.
Oh, did you?
I told him, I said, I think you've been drinking too many of the drinks you've been making. So I was just giving him trouble.
Love you, Greg. You some
Here's
bitch.
my take on Rob Zombie's Halloween. I've said it a million times. You cut the first half hour, 45 minutes off the beginning of that movie, it'd be fucking phenomenal.
I did like the brutalness and stuff.
I couldn't stand the fucking beginning of it. I almost got up and walked out of the theater because I was like, this is bullshit. We're not supposed to be seeing this.
Everybody now wants, and that's the thing too.
Everybody wants backstory.
Yeah, I want to see, or they to me, I feel like it's them trying to fucking like people are.
What do they call it? Origin story. I want an origin story.
I don't. That was the
Michael
whole point.
Myers doesn't need an origin story. That's what makes him so fucking creepy.
He's just pure evil. Like everyone's like, oh no, he got bullied. That's why he did that. No, that's not. That's not why he did that shit.
He did that shit because he stabbed his sister in the tits.
Yeah. And then he fucking, he's full of evil. He's just evil incarnate. I try to explain it to people. It's like they don't catch it. It's like they just don't understand. I'm like,
they just don't get it. They just don't get us.
No one understands me anymore, man. I don't know.
It's bullshit.
It's mixed feelings. And that's what's cool about it. Everyone has their own, version of things and how they.
Bullshit is what it is.
It's all a bunch of bullshit.
All right, so let's quit fucking around here. Ryan came to me with an idea. He said, "Hey, I want to talk about this," and we both looked into it, and we both sat down at the table and said, "There's not a lot to this story, but it is very cool.
Yeah,
there is some very cool shit." So what we're talking about is the Ackley house in
Nyack.
Nyack, is that how you
Nyack,
New York.
Nyack.
Very cool story. I kind of want to get into a little bit of the background of the house itself. We've got some pictures we're going to throw up here, so if you guys are listening, you won't see the pictures, but it's really not that big of a deal. It's just pictures of a house.
Right.
Basically, this house was built right off the Hudson River, and it was built in the early it was built in 1890. So the late 1800s was when this house was built. 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath, approximately 4,600 square feet.
Nice looking house too.
Yeah, it's a very good looking house. We'll throw some pictures up here. Let's see. Let's throw that up here. So this is the exterior of the house. This is actually a view from the river.
I like it.
The house was purchased by George and Helen Ackley in the early 1960s, and they lived in the house with their four kids. We're not going to mention their names, but
CGCM.
But one of their children, was that the child?
Yeah. It was,
no, that was the husband. The husband died in an area hospital after heart surgery in 1978.
I see. Gotcha.
He was only 53 years old, and the story was less than a year after the first accounts, paranormal activity appeared. So basically what happened was they had, in the 1970s, Reader's Digest had done a story on this place because the family had claimed that, there was some paranormal activity going on. So when this couple bought this house, the house had been vacant and was in complete disrepair. The story that I had read is it had been vacant for at least 10 years before they bought it.
Crazy. That's a nice
local children, supposedly warned them that the house was haunted, but there was really no prior paranormal incidents that were published or anything. So years later, Helen claimed that there were at least 3 ghosts in the residence. She described 2 as a married couple who had lived in the 18th century and the other as a Navy lieutenant in the American Revolution.
Interesting.
So in 1993, she was contacted by paranormal researcher Bill Merrill and medium Glenn Johnson.
Bill fucking Merrill.
Bill Merrill.
Sorry, I couldn't.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. But anyway, these two came to the house, and they claimed to have already made contact with two of the spirits. This house sat. What was kind of cool is this house sat at the end of a cul-de-sac, and it was funny, but just because at the beginning of the road there was a big dead end sign there, and then this house was it was one of the first houses on this little area. In fact, it garnered the address of one La Vida place. So it was the first house in this little cul-de-sac neighborhood or whatever. But anyway, these two, the paranormal researcher and the medium, we'll call them Bill and Glenn. You know, are your names Bill and Glenn, or is that like what you do? Man, that would have been so much better if it would have been Neil and Bob. But anyway, the pair met with Helen and disclosed that the couple were likely the poltergeists of Sir George and Lady Margaret, who lived in the region in the 18th century. In 1995, Marilyn Johnson published a book about their findings entitled Sir George, the Ghost of Nyack. And apparently it's still available on Amazon. So
yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I don't know if you're going to get to that part, or if you're wanting to do something before we talk about the cool aspect of this whole situation.
So yeah, I mean, if you want to get into that, the whole reason why we brought this up is this started something new, and we're going to let Ryan talk to you about that.
Yeah, it's cool about this. Cool about it because it's cool because, like it says, this brought up a actual court case, and now they're calling it's commonly known as the Ghostbuster ruling, which is cool.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
I think it's cool that they gave it that.
And it said in the case of the New York Supreme Court,
appellate division
held that a house which the owner had previously advised to the public as haunted by ghosts legally was haunted for the purpose of an action for recession, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Brought by a subsequent purchaser of the house. So basically, what they're saying is this became, I guess you would say, the first legally haunted house. And it brought upon an actual ruling that they're calling, they're calling it the Ghostbuster ruling, whatever. But so it brought this on, which is awesome, because basically what that means is that now what it's saying is, if you say JT's selling me his house and he comes and says, hey, this house is haunted, just so you know, want to make sure you're aware of that so you can't back out of this contract. Right?
Yeah. I ain't paying for no damn ghost.
I ain't paying for no extra residences. But yeah, so I know people may not think that's really cool, but to me, that's a big deal. And it's like a major, I don't know, milestone, I guess you would say, for the paranormal community as well, because that's given validation through the courts.
Right.
Of paranormal activity.
Yeah, the courts are, and it's so funny that the courts would actually, like Ryan said, validate that. That means that the court is in agreement that there is paranormal activity.
Right.
Not just paranormal activity in this house. They are agreeing in a court of law that paranormal activity actually exists.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that could go.
That's kind of fucking cool.
Like that could go so many different directions, you know what I mean? As far as like other things that get exposed, like we've talked about recently, like with UFOs and UAPs and shit.
Yeah.
It just keeps it's one of those deals. To me, this is a very like historical and important event for the paranormal community.
Yeah.
Because it gives them something that they can reach to or go to. It'd be like, hey, look, you guys already said this shit exists. So, and when someone says, "Oh, it doesn't exist," they can pull this up, like, "Well, government says so," and it's actual.
Yeah.
It's an actual ruling in law says that you have to. So I know that this is probably different in other, because my wife works in real estate. I know like different states have different, jurisdictions and laws and stuff as far as that goes. I don't think in Missouri that you have to, you know, say it's freaking haunted, but I could be wrong on that. I have to ask her that. I should have asked her that ahead of time, actually.
Right.
Now I'm thinking about it.
Well, the reason why this comes up, why this is coming up now is this house just went back on the market again, for the measly sum of $1.9 million.
Oh, that's nothing.
But the reason why this all came about was, so this Helen Ackley had reported the existence of ghosts in the house to both Reader's Digest and a local newspaper on 3 occasions between 1977 and 1989, when the house was included on a 5-home walking tour of the city. She recounted to the press several instances in which the poltergeist interacted directly with members of her family. She claimed that grandchildren received gifts of baby rings, all of which suddenly disappeared later. She also claimed that one ghost would wake her daughter, Cynthia, each morning by shaking her bed. She claimed that when spring break arrived, Cynthia proclaimed loudly that she did not have to wake up early and she would like to sleep in. Her bed did not shake the next morning. So it was around 1989, the beginning of 1990, the house went up for sale. And there was a guy. This is how this case came about. There was a guy, his name was Jeffrey Stambowski, had entered into a contract to purchase the house. Because Stambowski signed the contract and made a $32,500 down payment to the agreed price of $650,000, Ackley would not sign her into the contract until after the haunting was disclosed to the buyers. So she had put this up on, it was actually listed through a company called Ellis Realty, and they revealed the haunting to him. What's funny is the broker telephoned Stambowski and advised him of Ackley's claim, and he laughed and said, "We'll have to call in the Ghostbusters." Well, who are you going to call? So the broker then advised Helen Ackley that Stambowski was advised, and she signed her into the contract for the sale. The house was heading to closing. Both the broker and the seller told the court the sequence of events. Stambowski claimed he was never advised of this. Stambowski was from New York City and was not aware of the folklore of Nyack, including the widely known haunting story. About 1 week after the contracts of sale were fully signed, Stambowski requested an in-person meeting at the property with the seller directly to discuss the ghosts. After Stambowski were told by Mrs. Ackley passionately of the haunting story, he filed an action requesting rescission of the contract of sale and for damages for fraudulent misrepresentation by Ackley and Ellis Realty. Stambowski did not attend the closing, which caused him to forfeit the down payment, although he was then not obligated to buy the house. A New York Supreme Court dismissed the action, and Stambowski appealed. So he appealed this case, and because the Supreme Court in New York had gotten involved, that is why that we now have this law on the books that if you're going to sell a dwelling, you have to tell people that you think it's haunted.
It's crazy too. I wonder how legit that is about, because she made it a point to tell them about it, and then he afterwards
several times.
Yeah, and after that,
and then he tried to back out on the deal. Now, what's funny is he requested what it doesn't tell us is he requested an in-person meeting with Mrs. Ackley, and shortly after that, he decides he's not going to buy the house.
Right.
Did he go there and see some shit that was like, maybe I better not
get the vibe of the house? You know, you walk in.
Yeah. You know, you walk in the door and you're like, oh, this is a beautiful house. It's a beautiful neighborhood. The kids are happy. Look at the water. Get out.
Look at that
Too bad
demon.
we can't stay, baby.
Look at that demon over there.
But yeah, very cool story. And it's funny because now, like, and we laugh about it all the time because you see them. You'll see these house for sale signs, and underneath it'll say "not haunted." You know, it actually is a real deal, folks. So if your house is haunted, you got to foreclose that shit.
You know, I was watching a
foreclose. That ain't right.
Yeah,
you got to tell people about that shit before you sell it.
No, so speaking of haunted houses, I was watching something about haunted houses and stuff, and I think it was like Most Haunted or some shit. I can't remember. I was watching a show or something, but they brought up, believe it or not, I can't remember what I was actually watching, or maybe I was reading, but they brought up that fucking house in Bell that Bradley was telling us about.
Oh, wait,
an old mill house in Bell.
Oh, okay. Huh.
And I guess now there's a guy who bought it and they're renovating it, and they're gonna like turn it into like a B&B or something, maybe.
Yeah.
Or like something like the Limp Mansions type stuff.
That's cool.
That's gonna be badass. So we'll have to get in there for sure. That'll be a cool ass time.
Yeah. Yeah. I've actually been throwing this around. So next week on the show, folks, we're gonna have the guys from Haunted Souls Paranormal on.
Hell yeah.
It's gonna be a killer show. They're from St. Louis. I wanted to see if maybe we can get with them guys and
go
get in Limp Mansion. You know, I don't know. We're gonna talk to them about it.
That's gonna be cool.
But yeah, this is a very cool story. From what I hear, I had read that some celebrity or athlete or something had owned the house, and they were trying to rehab it back to its former glory. If you've seen some of these pictures on here, which I'm sorry, I haven't been flipping the pictures. The place is just absolutely gorgeous,
right?
But it is very modern looking inside. And this guy was apparently going to take it back to how it looked, you know, when it was first built or whatever. So, but yeah, pretty cool story. Yeah, I mean, that's as modern can get.
I like
there,
it.
You know,
good.
It's a gorgeous house, you know, but very cool story.
Makes you want to go there and stay.
Yeah.
At least they turn a bitch into an Airbnb, dude.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know how many people would stay there? Like, dude, they'd be having all kinds of business.
No
I bet that place would be sold out all fucking year long. Imagine that. Go there and stay up there for like 2 weeks in the winter.
Yeah, I mean, they probably would do that. I mean,
stay in that fucking place, dude.
Yeah.
And like record the whole time. That'd be bad fucking ass. I see all these damn YouTube kids out there living my life. They're fucking going to all these haunted places and stuff.
This is kind of funny. So, the case generated so much publicity, and area real estate agents had between 25 and 50 potential buyers call him within a week of the court's decision.
Hell yeah.
You know, because people are wanting to buy it. Oh, and then here's this, it's musician Natasia or whatever has bought the house, and
Matasu,
I don't know how you say that, but anyway, the home went up for sale in 2020 for 1.9 million and last sold in 2021 for $1.795 million. That's a lot of Skrilla.
Mm-hmm.
Skrilla.
What's crazy
But
is
yeah,
if they turn that into an Airbnb, dude, they'd make a
they'd make so much money.
Make
It'd
so
be
much
ridiculous.
money. Be badass, bro.
Ridiculous.
Hell to the yeah. Ooh, what is that?
But anyway, so
what is that?
That's our story on
the Ackley
Ghostbuster ruling.
Yeah.
The Ackley house. So you guys all know I work at a car dealership, and there's a lot of employees there, and I'm the guy that they call Mr. Halloween. That my office has got all kinds of creepy shit all over it.
I've heard other names, but whatever.
And well, yeah, but I can't say those on the air. And occasionally they like to come back and tell me weird stories. Well, one of the guys a couple weeks ago comes back and he says, "Hey, have you ever heard of," and that's how it always starts, and I'm like,
it's
all
just
right,
a
let
rash.
me grab a pen. He said, "Have you ever heard of the Headless Woman of Dumas?" And I'm like, "No, that's a new one on me." And he said, "Well, my sister and my brother-in-law, they live in northern Missouri, and there is a town up there called Dumas. And it is up in Clark County. And there's a story. There's a train trestle up there that the local kids and stuff claim that they can, the story's been going around forever that they see a woman hanging from this trestle. Sometimes they see an apparition on the road, and she has no head. So I was like, okay, you hear stories all the time about all of this stuff, and of course the biggest one is the Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Right.
One of my favorite stories. So I was intrigued. I was like, okay, well, here, let me write some stuff down, and I'll start looking at it. So I started going through here, and I ran into a story about this haunting. And we're just going to get into it. The person that wrote this story, it says, I grew up in rural Revere and heard talk of a headless person haunting Dumas. Rhonda Christian said, "I've only been to Dumas one time, but I didn't see anything. Fear and lack of familiarity with the area kept me away from there." I get it. So every Clark County kid knows this story. Be careful in the tunnel at night. Not a horseman, but the headless woman. She wanders through the tunnel looking for her head at night. So Dumas is a small town. I don't know that it actually tells you the particulars here, but it's a very small town in northern Missouri. And this legend has persisted about this haunting of a headless woman named Mary Kirchner.
Why does that name sound familiar?
So, well, I've got a friend of mine named Kirchner. Larry Kirchner owns the haunted, the Darkness Haunted
That's
house.
That's where I know the last name.
And the story is that she was killed on the local train tracks. And it says this eerie phantom is believed to be the remnant of a tragic train wreck that took place in late summer or early fall of 1892, causing what legend claims between 13 to 27 fatalities. The accident occurred near the river overpass, about half a mile from the Dumas Tunnel overpass. The local lore persists that Mary Kirchner lost her head in this accident, her skull possibly carried away by the river, and now she eternally roams the area searching for it. So as I was reading through this, I'm like, okay, this kind of sounds like every other story,
Right.
So I started trying to dig deeper, And come to find out, very interesting, I got into some archives and found out that there truly was a train derailment by the river. The bridge had collapsed, and the engineer did not see the collapsed bridge. Somebody had tried to warn him of it, but by the time they warned him of it, it was too late for him to stop. Train went off. 27 people were killed in this train accident. Now, there is no record of a Mary Kirchner being on the train. So her name may not be Mary Kirchner, but it is highly possible that this woman would have been on this train during this accident, lost her head, and now she walks the road by the trestle searching for her head. There's a lot of other stories, like, you know, a lot of the kids. The tale makes the tunnel underpass an eerie yet enticing destination for these seeking a thrill or exploring local folklore.
See, we need to do that.
Most teens around here know about it, or they used to. It's a very popular spot to go when drinking or just to go ghost hunt.
Damn, we need to check that out, dude. We need to find out how far that is from us and check it out.
So there's a lady, Mary K. Teal Church, an area historian who was raised in Dumas, found a newspaper article published in the fall of 1892. I am sure it originated from a train wreck that took place just west of Dumas. She said several were killed. Possibly a woman was decapitated when a trestle was washed out during heavy rains and flooding. The train fell into the flooding creek at night.
Huh.
So the eastbound Santa Fe vestibule train, which was due at Revere Thursday morning at 1:20 and consisting of a mail and express baggage, 2 coaches, and 2 sleepers, went through a trestle bridge across the Kester Branch about 1 mile east of Revere. Shortly after pulling out of the station, the unprecedented rains during the night had swollen all of the branches to raging torrents, and the bridge over the Kester Branch was moved out of line by the force of the water. A number of men and boys from Cahokia visited the scene of the wreck yesterday and reported immense crowds of people there from the surrounding country. So basically, I mean, it's the country. So a lot of people from all these little towns, they all showed up the next day trying to help. You know, they were trying to help find people, and
Right.
because of course there was a lot of people missing. But what's interesting is this train was due. The story I had read is it had left the train yard at like 12:30 or something, and it was due at 1:20 in Revere, and it never made it. And so now this haunting usually occurs around 1 o'clock in the morning. Is when most people claim to see this woman.
See, we need to check it out, because then I was reading at the bottom there, and it says the headless woman appears in or near the tunnel where the road goes under the now BNSF tracks. According to those who have spotted her, Church said that's the lady who's the historian lady.
The church lady.
So she said it's a fun legend for anyone who wants to venture down the 5 miles or so of gravel into the remote country. Heck yeah, dude. That's something we need to go check out, bro.
Headless Mary Kirchner. Supposedly she was so distraught over losing her boyfriend that she was walking the tracks one night and got hit by a train. So there's another story that it could have been. Now, like I had said, there were a few different stories here, but I did go back and I looked at some of the archive stuff, and there was an actual train accident, a train derailment. And that would explain why she would be hanging out around this train trestle. So
awesome. Dude, we have to check that one out.
Yeah, definitely.
Look into that. Hell yeah, man. That's a good story. That's
Pretty
one.
cool.
That's one that we're gonna
Pretty cool.
maybe do some more research on here.
Yeah.
But,
I just looked into it. It was something that it popped up, and I thought, hey, that might be a fun little story to talk about.
Hell yeah, guys. Hell yeah.
About.
Well, that's the show
Yes,
tonight,
sir.
Horror Fam.
That's it.
That's all you fuckers get.
So we gave you a lot of movie bullshit and
Just gave you
a
a lot of
couple of ghost
bullshit.
stories.
But
and, yeah.
We love you guys.
Can't wait till next week. We're like I said, we're
That's
gonna have
time.
the guys from Haunted Souls Paranormal on. We met them at the Haunted America conference, and it was funny. We reached out to them and said, "Hey, would you be interested?" And they're like, "Fuck yeah!" I said, "Well, you can't cuss on our show." So
only we
no,
can.
I didn't say that.
Only we
They
can.
didn't say that either. So. But yeah, we are scheduled for next week, so you guys will probably get to hear that on my birthday, maybe.
Ooh,
My birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mr. President. Oh, wait, he wouldn't know it was his birthday anyway. Oh, shit. We better go. But anyway, guys, that's the show. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for all you do. Please like, subscribe,
share.
ring that bell, share all our shit because you love us.
Yes.
You really, really do.
Love me.
We're trying to be on Facebook a little more. YouTube's going really well. We're getting some good feedback from our last episode. If you didn't get to see our last episode, it was all on horror movie previews, new stuff coming out. And that went really well. We had a really good time doing that, and a lot of people are really digging it. So we may do some more stuff like that.
Hell yeah.
And yeah.
We love you, Horror Fam. Thank you for your support as always. And more importantly, as always, until next time, keep it creepy.